Today it's 24th of October 2021, and it's a Sunday morning here in India. So just relax and be attentive as I shall be with you for next about half an hour or so. Today I have yet been asked to share my views on happiness. I have already spoken a number of times on this subject, but still it remains a lot to be said in this context. Few years back, it was year 2018, and I was at Romania during my travel. I had discussed and I had interaction with Mr. Gopesh Sharma. Now he's Dr. Gopesh Sharma, as he has earned a degree of doctorate. So we had, I don't remember the exact title of his research, but it was something experience of happiness by sadhus, by monks. So now he is a doctor of philosophy and from University of Pennsylvania. Though his subject was restricted to happiness experienced by the monks, but happiness is sought by everyone. We all know this is an academic degree that in most countries qualifies the degree holder to teach their subject, their chosen subject at university level. So I'm thinking I should invite him and request him to join us someday and share his views on this subject and his journey during the research of the subject, happiness. Let's find out what happiness is and how we can have it. Since the time I have said it before in one of my expressions a few months back, that since the time we are born, we are all looking for happiness. Children seek happiness from their toys, then from colorful pencils, pebbles collected in streets, and from beaches. And when they grow up, they look for it from new dresses, the girls, cosmetics, and the boys from mobile, shoes, ties. And when they grow up more, they look at from cars, from money, then from marriage, from children, from grandchildren, and so on, till this circle of life completes. And eventually, most of us have to depart unsatisfied. Happiness is the mental state of experiencing positive and pleasant emotions. In my experience, many people define happiness as the feeling of intense joy, which may make it harder to feel like we are happy in our everyday lives. First of all, let me make it clear that happiness and the pleasure are two different things, though they sound similar. Let's take the pleasure first. Pleasure is a state in which you feel good and enjoy what you are doing. Pleasure is usually caused by external factors and often involves our five senses: sight, touch, smell, taste, and hearing. But the time limited. The pleasure is time limited, or I should say, it is short lived. I tell you how. We experience a sensation of pleasure when we eat some delicious food. We get pleasure when we listen to some pleasant music, our favorite song. We experience pleasure when we do something we love doing. We enjoy the warmth under the blanket on cold winter days. Like here in Srinagar, we had continuous rain here since Friday evening. Now it has stopped, but it is cold now. So the blanket gives the warmth and we enjoy it. We also derive pleasure from reading a book. We get pleasure from the smell and taste of good food, and also from the sight of a beautiful person. Pleasure often does not last very long, as I said before, since soon the attention moves to other important matters of our life. We enjoy the pleasure we experience, but after a while we either lose interest in or try to seek it from something else. For example, you might eat a piece of chocolate and enjoy it, or golgappas, pani puri. But after a few pieces of it, you feel you cannot eat anymore. And sometimes too much of something stops being enjoyable. We have other things in our life. We have another priorities to look into, like work at office, cleaning house, cooking, gardening, driving, fixing something at home, or carrying out other tasks. Then we have to stop doing the activity that was actually giving us pleasure to do other things. When you eat your favorite delicious food, you derive pleasure from it. But the pleasure won't last for long. Since you cannot go on eating indefinitely, sometime after you finish eating your favorite food or dish, the sensation of pleasure you were having a moment before wears off. You may enjoy watching a movie, but the movie also lasts for a certain amount of time. And then you return to your everyday reality. So you see, pleasure is short lived, it is time limited. Pleasure is also emotional in nature and often depends on the five senses, while happiness is different. It is an, how should I say, it is sort of inner sensation. In pleasure, the emotions and the feelings are active. In a state of happiness, there is stillness, there is calmness, and there is peace. Happiness may be triggered by some events or external factors, but it does not depend on them. It is a sensation of inner calmness and satisfaction. Though the happiness is similar to pleasure in some respects, yet it is entirely different. You usually feel happy when a problem has been resolved. You feel happy when you receive good news or you accomplish a goal, when you earn a great sum of money, or when you are deeply in love. what do you actually feel? You feel free. You feel blissful, as if sun is shining on you and you have no worries and nothing is bothering you. It is a state of peace. It is a state of elation, if you allow me to say so. For a few moments, you feel as if a burden has been lifted and you feel no fears or doubts and do not even think about the next thing you are going to do. For a few moments, in those moments of happiness, there are no thoughts and there is no time as if. These are moments of peace and happiness. You experience a deep feeling of relief without any thoughts, doubts, or any expectations. For a moment, in that state, your mind is empty. And in this very empty state, happiness arises. But you cannot stay in this state also for a long. Actually, your mind is not trained to be peaceful at every time. And all the thoughts, the desires, the doubts, the fears, and the expectations rise back again. And they overwrite the calmness, the stillness you experienced just a moment ago. Happiness and inner peace come from the same source, from within. Through a little training, one can reach a state when happiness and peace are experienced. And that also more and more often. The more you are able to free your mind from the compulsion of thinking, moving from one thought to another, the more you will be able to enjoy your inner peace and happiness. We all need to enjoy both the pleasure and the happiness. And while pleasure often has to do with physical sensations, while happiness is more an inner sensation that is associated with inner peace and mental and emotional calmness. Instead of waiting for external events to trigger happiness, you can bring it from inside you. Since the inner peace has much to do with the state of happiness, the more peaceful your mind is, the more happiness you can enjoy. Happiness is something we all aim for, along with health, wealth, and success in all our endeavors, in our undertakings. However, finding happiness in everyday life can be a difficult task. Happiness can appear briefly or be influenced by many other issues in our work and lives, making it difficult to find. I believe being happy is not so difficult, but maintaining that state of happiness is a difficult task for sure. It is not that we are not happy. We all are happy sometime in a day, but the volume, the period varies from person to person. If you ask a child how many hours he was happy in a day, he would say that I'm always happy. But if you ask this same question to to grown up, to elderly persons, their reply shall vary, though, depending on their outlook, the quality of their life. But I tell you that elderly people need someone or something to make them happy. While children are always happy, if they are not made unhappy by snatching their toys or stopping them what they are doing. Actually, they live each and every moment of their life. They are always just watch. They are always, you will find them always in the present. They are lost in the present. There is no future as if. We all want happiness. We all want to be happy, and each of us has different ways of getting there. I shall suggest you few tips that you can work on to increase your happiness into your life. Be with others who make you smile. You must have noticed that we are the happiest when we are around those who are also happy. Like the children, I said, stick with those who are joyful and let rub off on you. Be with those with whom you feel happiness infused. Hold on to your beliefs. Hold on to your values. What you find true, what you know is fair, and what you believe in are all values and the beliefs. Over time, the more you honor them, the better you feel about yourself and those you love. Accept the good. Look at your life and take stock of what's working. And do not push away something just because it is not working. Imagine and think about the best you had. Don't be afraid to look at what you really want and see yourself getting it. I have observed that many people avoid this process because they don't want to be disappointed if things don't work out. But the truth is that imagining getting what you want is a big part of achieving it. Do things what you really love to do. Maybe you can't take vacations every now and then, but as long as you get to do the things you love every once in a while, you will find greater happiness. Find the purpose of your life. I see that those who believe they are contributing to the well being of the humanity tend to feel better about their lives. I also know that many people want to be part of something greater than they are simply because it is fulfilling. Listen to your heart. You are the only one who knows what fills you up. Your family, your friends may think you would be great at something, but that really doesn't float your boat, isn't it? Push yourself, not others. Generally, we try to find an easier way, and it is always easier to feel that someone else is responsible for your fulfillment. But the reality is that it is really your charge. Once you realize that you have the power to get where you want to go, it changes everything. So stop blaming others or the world, and you will find your answers much sooner. Be open for change. Even if it doesn't feel good, change is the one thing you can count on. Change will happen. Actually, it has been happening constantly, if you allow me to say so. Just stay prepared. Enjoy in the simple pleasures. Those who love you, your treasured memories, the gifts, keep on giving. Happiness and fulfillment are within your grasp. But sometimes you find that it is not. It is out of reach. Understanding what works best for you is the first step in finding them more often. Now, after listening to what I just explained, choose whether you want to have pleasure or the happiness. Pleasure is instant, but short lived, as I said. And happiness needs to be worked on, and a lot of patience is required. Patience is when you are supposed to get mad, but you choose for understanding. Try keeping your child alive that is within you to be able to live a playful life. And that shall not only bring more happiness into your life, but also slow down the aging process considerably. I can assure you for that. What I have understood till now is there is no happiness as such outside us. It is just a reflection of our inner happiness, whatever we get it from. I have gone very long today, but I must say that today I also feel happy in speaking on the subject happiness. I'm also happy today. But it would be incomplete without saying the happiest people do not have the best of everything. They make best of everything they have. With this note, I conclude. I thank you for your attention. Stay blessed and stay happy always.